Morning everybody, welcome back to the channel, and as you can see we've made a start on harvest. So this week we managed to make a start in our oilseed rape. The famous stripy field has been conquered and we've managed to harvest that. Unfortunately I can report that the soybean experiment has been unsuccessful. I will put a link at the end of the video, but we broadcast soybeans into standing rape with a view to giving us a green cover and potentially a second crop between oilseed rape being harvested and wheat going in as the crop for next year. So there's quite a long period when there's nothing in the soil, and my hope was that we could plant soybeans and that they would companion crop the rape in the latter stages and then come through for a late October harvest. But it looks like the slugs have completely decimated them. So it's not the big slugs like this chap who destroy your oilseed rape. It tends to be the smaller grey field slug in sheer numbers that do the destruction. But it's just the fact that if he's here, it's a good indication that it's a good habitat for slugs. And digging underneath the trash, we've seen plenty of slugs so far. Obviously, cabbage stem flea beetle is a huge issue to our industry in this particular crop. But just to say, when we were combining this, digging around in the residue, I don't think I've ever seen so much life. Especially spiders, a huge number of spiders, and it reminded me of when I was in America. Lots of talk about predators, spiders controlling pest species. So going forward, I hope we get better control of our pest species by having a more diverse population of predators. And interestingly, some of those green strips where the Kuhn Aero clutch had failed, there were some good stands of soybeans in there. In the interest of consistency, we've destroyed those. We have been through and stubble raked all of our rape stubbles now. Fortunately, we could see the rain coming. We had 20 millimeters on Saturday and the ground is quite wet. We also took the opportunity just to go through some of the tram lines that had bad damage from the compost spreading, where we also got stuck with the compost spreader in the spring. So we just took those out. But otherwise, this will receive multiple stubble rakes, and then we will go straight in. So we've made a start. The CR combine struggled with feeding a little bit, so we had to dash around and pick up some flight extensions for the CR, but they got their combining done as well. We've left a chunk of the sheep grazed oilseed rape trial plot. We've left that standing. The plants are here, but as you can see, we're only in flowering, or they're getting to flowering. Spring crops in general are receiving a huge amount of secondary growth as a result of all the late rain we've received. So we're seeing a lot of secondary tillers, green heads, that sort of thing. And I think this rape here is recovering. So rather than just destroying it, I'm just going to be patient. I'm going to leave it. We'll see if it comes to anything. It will mean that the combine has to come back. But, you know, it's all about trying to understand what the limits are of this system, what works and what doesn't. So that's certainly a learning lesson. It does make management a lot harder and potentially adds to the cost if we have to revisit. I'm not proposing to have it near the top of my agenda. Everything else would have to be done first before we come back here. But I don't think we should ignore a crop just because it's not ready when we want it to be. So we'll come back and see if we get any yield off this bit too. And thank you to a viewer who supplied this rather nice cat diesel power cap. as a result of seeing my puppy chewed cap. So thank you very much to them. Okay, so I'm back in the office now, and I've just had the opportunity to quickly run some numbers to demonstrate why oilseed rape is in such a crisis. So we averaged 1.7 tonnes per hectare on our conventional system and 1.5 tonnes on the regenerative agriculture system. So the conventional system had fixed costs of 201, a variable cost of 301, giving a total cost of 502, which equates to a cost of production of £295 per tonne. The regenerative system, because the muck costs quite a lot to spread, has got a fixed cost of 267, variable costs of 336, giving a total cost of 603. Divided by the 1.5 gives you a cost of production of 402. So very disappointed that the regenerative system is more expensive than the conventional system.